It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I am your host, Pat Disabato, from the Southtown Star newspaper, and we're at Season 12, Week 1 of the Coach's Corner Show. Who said it wouldn't last? All right, and a tradition of this show. Week 1, we always kick off the season at the preseason #1 football team. So where are we at, folks? Giving you some hints here. A lot of red here, a lot of red. All right, so we're at none other than Homewood Flossmoor High School. The Vikings will be the Coach's Corner Show preseason numero uno. So congrats to the Vikings on that distinction, that honor. Little target on the Vikings' back, but Coach Craig Bazia and his players definitely grasped that challenge, no doubt about it. Buzzman, 34-12, beginning his 5th season, coming off a 9-2 season a year ago. This is a guy that has revitalized this program. 80, 90 players on the varsity roster alone. So the Vikings are definitely one of the powerhouses, not only in the area, but throughout the state. So we're going to have on Craig Bazia, our first segment. And then in our second segment, we're going to have on tight end James Sheehan, senior, 3-year varsity guy, also plays baseball. James, one of the top tight ends in the area. So and he's got a great personality. So we're going to have on Buzzman and James as our guests. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. We return. Coach Bazia steps it up, man. He's #1 on the list. Stay tuned.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a pepperoni sausage, green peppers and onions. Don't forget the extra cheese, large pizza. Oh, by the way, I also make house calls. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
For over 60 years, Standard Bank has been a part of your neighborhood, supporting sports and other activities, working with communities as they grow and thrive, helping businesses and families to reach their financial goals. In communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, your neighborhood is our neighborhood. We can help you reach your financial goals. To learn about products like Check Free, our super secure service that saves you time and money and makes it easy to pay your bills online, visit standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, up first in Season 12 of the Coach's Corner Show, Homewood Flossmoor football coach Craig Bazia. Buzzman, thanks for coming on board again.
My pleasure, Pat. Glad to have you here.
5th season, 5th time on the show.
How about that?
You must be doing something right.
I don't know about that, Pat. I'm a little leery on this one, but we'll go ahead and go with it.
All right, so the Vikings, the preseason #1. So what does that make you feel like? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess my thoughts are exactly how you came up with this. I mean, that's my first thought. I guess it speaks volumes for our program, and I think that's something that our kids will be excited about. But we know that expectations are high. They're always high in our program.
Yep.
And nobody's expectations are higher than our own. So we'll go ahead and we'll embrace it, and hopefully we can be worthy of that. Basically, our goal is to be that #1 ranking at the end of the year instead of the start of the year, but it's certainly a nice credit to our kids.
So what do you do on something like this? Do you sit down with the team, talk to them about this #1 distinction, or is it something that you try and avoid?
Well, it's hard to avoid just with the media the way it is, but we won't certainly belabor the point at all. I mean, I think we talk about we talk to our guys about media. We talk about websites, we talk about all that type of stuff, and we just say, you need to do your job on the field, and everything else will take care of itself. And so I'm sure we'll mention it once, and that'll be it, and then go from there. Unless it's going to give us a touchdown or two each game, it's not going to be worth anything anyway. So, we're going to sort of just take it and move on and have our kids play hard like they usually do.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you though, 6 years ago, when his program was floundering, I didn't think anyone expected it to be a preseason #1 5 years later. So it's a credit to you and your kids and your coaching staff. Man.
Well, thank you. And again, we feel like we have a long way to go, and we have a brutal schedule, and it's just something that we feel like we're going to embrace and get after it, and hopefully we can make you look good at the end of the year.
All right. When you look at this team, Buzz, what do you consider its strength?
Well, I guess just from the standpoint that we have 5 returning starters on offense, that would have to be our strength. Unfortunately, we have we had one returning starter on defense, and he was had an injury a couple days ago, so now we have no returning starter. So offensively, we got to be our strength. I mean, we bring some skilled people back, but we do have to replace Isaac Cotrera, who did a phenomenal job last year at quarterback, and virtually our whole offensive line other than Desmond Bland. So we have a lot of voids there, but we feel like we have some playmakers. If we can do a good job up front blocking them and get these guys with the ball in space, we think we can make some noise on the offensive side of the ball.
Yep. And we should let people inform our viewers, Buzz. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of experience coming back. I mean, some of the guys on defense that did play a little bit, maybe not returning starters, but this junior class that we're talking about here has taken some teams to the woodshed its first 2 seasons at the lower levels, even without guys you've had up, like the Harley Hamptons have been up their whole career. They never played freshman ball. They were on the sophomores as freshmen, and sophomores they were on the varsity, right?
Well,
so this is a good class.
They did play freshman ball.
Oh, they did play freshman.
They were up with us as well, but they played some freshman ball, and I think a lot of it is our freshman class at that time was pretty acclaimed, and I don't put a lot of stock into that because you just never know who other freshman is up and all that type of stuff. But the bottom line is we got some pretty good players in that class, but our senior class is one that we feel pretty good about as well, and they're going to have to be the leaders of our class. We lost 48 seniors last year to graduation. A lot of those guys, 18 went on to play college football, so there's a lot of voids to be filled, and hopefully these guys can step up and do that.
And you got about 85 guys on the roster this year, right?
Yeah, about 80 to 90, yep.
Right around there.
Yep.
Okay, so numbers are still strong.
Pretty good, yep.
And what's your biggest concern with this team going in?
I think, too, one is just the experience. I mean, again, we don't have a lot of guys that have played that big game. A lot of those guys have gone on, and then obviously you have your defense step up. And I think our defense made some significant strides last year. Did a really nice job. But now when you're putting 11 new guys on the field that have not really been a starter, like you said, they've played some, but haven't been a starter. That's a concern. But I think Coach Flowers does an excellent job with our defense, and so that would be the experience and just the defensive factor as well.
Now, last couple seasons, you've had early exits in the playoffs, Buzz. Last year, 9-2 season. I think you guys trailed. You lost to Bolingbrook and you lost to Naperville Central, who went on to win the 8A state championship. But I think you trailed by like a total of about 5 minutes in both those games, wasn't it? Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5 minutes that we were behind all year long. I know Bolingbrook, we were up 21-10 at halftime and lost it in overtime, and then Naperville Central were ahead. With about 4 minutes to go, and they broke a long run, and we had the ball at the end and couldn't punch it in. So, lesson learned. Our goal in this program is always to make the playoffs and hopefully make some noise. We were able to do that my first 2 years. Last couple of years, not as much, but something that we just have to get back in the playoffs. And if we do that, then we just take that as it comes.
As it comes, yeah. Now, I think the signature since you've come aboard here has been your offense. You guys put up points at a crazy pace. A lot of fun to watch. If people haven't watched HF football the last few years, I encourage them to come on out and check this team out because it is very explosive and a lot of fun. So what's the offense look like this year, and how's quarterback Bryce Gray looking?
Bryce is going to have to trigger some things, and he's been in the program for 2 years and was up with us all last year, although he didn't get a lot of playing time, learned the system, and I always tell people the success of our program and the success of our offense is not going to be because of the quarterback. I mean, Bryce and even Trevor Johnson, who's been behind him a little bit, we'll see some playing time as well. And our offense is what it is. It's predicated on spreading some people out and getting our athletes in space and letting them make plays and trying to be as simple as we can with our guys up front and being diverse other ways. And that's what we've been able to do, and I think that's what we'll continue to do, and hopefully we're as successful as we've been in the last couple of years.
Now, we mentioned the Harley Hampton twins, Devontae and Deontay. Juniors this season. What's the biggest difference that you've seen from them when you look back a year ago to today?
Well, I mean, there's a huge difference. Last year at this time, you know, they were just sophomores. I've never really had a sophomore running back up in the varsity. Now I had two of them that, besides Vashawn Nutt, were going to be handling the ball most of the time, and really didn't know what to expect. They were definitely not familiar with our offense the way we ran at the varsity level, even though we run the same thing in our feeder system, but the intricacies of it. So I was concerned about that. Now they've done nothing but mature, not only as players but as human beings. They understand the offense. They're leaders of our offense, and now that they're much bigger and faster and stronger than they were. They've really dedicated themselves in the weight room, and you know, really anxious to see what they can do with about 10, 15 pounds of muscle back on and added speed as well.
So what do you think? What needs to happen for this team to meet the expectations?
Well, again, you know, it depends what your expectations are. Again, you know, with our schedule, you know, when we talk to Stevenson week 2, and you get the Lincoln Ways in there, and you got Bolingbrook, obviously. You know, we just have to look at what's in front of us. We talk about a faceless opponent. You know, sort of come out and we're going to play the game the way we need to play it. But you know, we just have to be consistent, and I think we will. We talked a little bit to our team about valuing the ball, both on offense and defense. You know, when we have a chance to come up with interception, you got to come up with it. When we have a chance to move the ball and handle the ball, we got to make sure we secure the ball, and I think that's a big key. But it's just a matter of how quick these guys are going to step up, because we're going to get tested on fire here pretty quickly, and I think our guys are ready. It's been a good off season, and guys like James and Bryce and the guys that you mentioned before have been real good leaders, and we're anxious to take that step.
Yep. Well, it all starts Friday night in Flossmoor, 7:30. You guys open up in Harlan, right?
7:30. Harlan's Academy's coming over.
They're coming over in week 2. Stevenson makes the trip on in to Flossmoor, so that'll be another 7:30 start, and that's quite a way to start the season.
Yeah, it will be, and we don't know much about Harlan, but we do know a lot about Stevenson, and we played them the last 2 years and renewed them another 2 years, and I know they'll be ranked in the 1, 2, or 3 in the state, so it'll be a big test on that game as well. So looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun, and we appreciate you having us on, and appreciate the honor, and we'll talk later.
All right, Buzzman, thank you very much, all right?
My pleasure.
Good luck this season. We'll see you down the road, all right?
You bet. Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to go to a Lisa Thomas Salon timeout. Remember, go to lisathomassalon.com. Still a lot of great specials for your high school kids. Just got to flash that student ID and you'll be hooked up. All right, we come back from this break. James Sheehan, Homewood Flossmoor tight end. He will be up next, and we're going to put him on the hot seat a little bit, too. We're going to have a little fun with James, all right, when we come back, so stay tuned.
What teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut and style for just $27 and guys get a cut and style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style, only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
If you're looking for delicious barbecue in the Southland, no one does it better than Bonapit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights. Stop in and try our mouth-watering ribs, tender piled-high pulled pork sandwich with homemade chips, or a perfecta combo in our year-round indoor-outdoor patio. Having a special get-together, Bonapit offers a party room for up to 100 people. Want to watch the big game? Fans can do so on one of our many flat-screen TVs and enjoy $10 domestic bucket specials every Sunday. Bonapit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights. No one does barbecue better.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oakbrook Promenade.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. Thank Coach Craig Buzia for being our guest. And now we've got on tight end James Sheehan of the Vikings. James, how's it going, my man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on. Nice to see you.
All right, nice to see you, my man. James, 40 catches last year, about 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's the man. He's a major threat for the Vikings. Also plays a little baseball. So this preseason #1 thing, James, You guys, what's the feeling on this thing? Do you guys feel a little bit more pressure to live up to these expectations or what?
I wouldn't say necessarily pressure. I think most of the guys, a lot of the leaders on the team are telling the young guys, just calm down. Maybe they see number one and they start to get a little antsy. But I wouldn't say too much pressure. I would say we're doing a good job of focusing and preparing for the season to come ahead. So.
Okay. And last season, 8-1 during the regular season, win your first playoff game, then you guys lose to Naperville Central. We talked about it with Coach, how it was, you guys led most of every game you guys played in. What did you learn from last year's experience and apply it to this year?
Well, Pat, I'd probably say that one thing that I've learned from being on varsity so far is from being on varsity as a sophomore till now, I'd probably say adversity in football games is the number one thing I've learned. I've already been through numerous games that I can remember just where, the going gets tough, and it's really about how you bounce back and how you face adversity. You got to face it right on. You got to punch it in the mouth, and you just got to move on. So I think that's probably the one thing that I've learned, and hopefully a lot of other guys on this team know that eventually down the road there's going to be a game where we're trailing late, and we got to make some plays.
Got to stop it up,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yep. And in this offense, man, how much fun is it to play in this type of offense?
Under Buzz, it's really fun. It's honestly when you're sitting in the huddle and then the quarterback is calling and come back, you're just here's a route to me, stuff like that. So it's always exciting. It's that you can't turn your head honestly if you're watching the game, because if you do, next thing you know, it's 80 yards for a touchdown. So I think fun is an understatement.
Yep, yeah. Absolutely. All right, and this social media thing. James, you guys, this Twitter thing, you follow me, and
yeah,
it could get a little crazy. Yeah. So, how do you handle this thing, man?
I'm not too big of a tweeter, but I go on Twitter a lot, and I'll see what's going on in the IHSA and stuff like that. And you got a great Twitter account, so
yeah, thanks,
I know you got a lot of followers. Just go on, and a lot of people use it to state what they their opinion, what they feel, and stuff like that. But
could get them in trouble. But you got to be careful.
You got to be careful what you say and put on there. So
yep.
Yeah.
But you're not a big time Twitter guy.
Not occasionally. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're gonna do a little rapid fire with you, James. Okay.
Oh, God.
It's like rapid fire with Beto. Okay.
Okay.
So we prefer one word responses.
One word responses. Okay.
You ready to go?
I'm ready
to do this?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Use one word to describe Coach Bazia.
Exciting.
Use one word to describe baseball coach Todd Sipple.
Humorous.
Humorous. All right. That'll get you playing time.
Yeah.
That was a good response on both those guys. All right. Who would win a 40-yard dash between you and your brother Patrick?
Oh my God, he'd be looking at my heels the whole race, I'll tell you.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Patrick, I hope you're watching this.
Calling him out.
I'm calling him out.
We might have to come back and get that race on tape.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send it to you. I'll tweet it to you.
All right. If you could pick any celebrity to be your prom date, who would it be?
I would probably take prom dates. Ariana Grande is pretty cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Saw her on the MTV Awards yesterday. So yeah, that's who you're looking at. Yeah. That's not bad. You could do worse. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and last one. You're stranded on a deserted island.
Oh God.
And you could choose one food. All right, whether it's something mom makes or somewhere that you really love. What do you take?
I'm taking my mom's home cooked shells that she makes, lasagna. It's the best thing I've ever had.
Nice.
Or maybe some Beggar's Pizza.
All right, that too, man. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
All right, James.
All right.
See, now that's a great job, okay? Because Coach Buzz is going to be happy. Coach Sip's going to be happy. Mom's going to be happy. You're probably going to have lasagna probably anytime you want it. You're good, man. You're good. And Beggars is happy.
Yeah,
we'll hook you up, okay?
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, James. Thanks for being on, man. Good luck this season. I'll see you down the road, okay?
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. All right, folks. We're going to go to an athletics timeout. Our buddy Tom Mulvey at Athletics. We come back. I'm going to dissect our top 10, okay? Talk about some teams, analyze some things, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
Hello, boys. I'm a drop-dead gorgeous pepperoni sausage, hold the vegetables deep dish pizza. Just look at my cheese. Your place or mine. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Coach Craig Bazia for being our guest, as well as tight end James Sheehan. Good luck to the Vikings this season. And speaking of the Vikings, folks, you know, I don't know if you've been by here, check out this new field house at HF, but it's a game changer. There isn't another facility, any high school in the Southland, arguably the state, that has something like this. This is a 30-yard indoor practice facility right here, turfed up. Softball, baseball could come in here, golf could come in here, football, field hockey, soccer. It's just incredible. There's another, there's like, I don't know how many basketball courts behind Girard, and there's rooms for the coaches, POMs, cheerleading, soccer. It's unbelievable. So an unbelievable weight room. Excellent job by the HF administration putting this thing together. They didn't cut any corners. They did it right. As well as another field turf facility that the freshmen are going to use, and the varsity can use too, behind this facility. So it's second to none. And UHF alumni, I encourage you guys to come on back and check this place out. You won't recognize the joint. It's that nice. So kudos to HF. All right, folks, let's get to the text poll question of the week, sponsored by Standard Bank. Guess the question correctly. Chance to win a $50 gift card. Compliments of Standard Bank. We're still givers here on the Coach's Corner Show. All right, this week's question. Which team was our preseason #1 in football last season? Okay? Text A if you think it was Lincoln Way East. B if you think it was Mount Carmel. C if you think it was St. Rita. All right? Then call 708-365-8501. It's right on the screen. Texter number 3 with the correct response will win a $50 gift card. Compliments of Standard Bank. All right? Good luck. All right, top 10, folks. You know who's #1. Let's analyze some of these teams in our top 10. And we kicked off things with Crete-Monee at number 10. Powerhouse. Did you know Crete-Monee, and since 2007, they are 35-1 in the Southland Conference. Lost to Rich East a few years back. Tremendous team. Frank Douglas, Clinton Rakovich, Omari Stringer, one of the top prospects in the area, and an offensive lineman, Phil Cruz. Warriors will be good. They open against TF South Friday. Number 9 was Lincoln Way North. Quarterback Ryan Arthur's back. Kyle Ostrowski at wide receiver. Watch out for this Jalen Branch kid at running back. Transfer from Mount Carmel. This kid's supposed to be the real deal, only a junior. And Jacob Abramowitz at DB. So the Phoenix are locked and loaded again. Number 8, Providence Catholic. They probably got the 2 top targets at wide receiver, Miles Boykin and Nate Vivoda. Boykins go to Notre Dame. Vivoda's going to Iowa. They also have Justin Hunford back at quarterback, and defensive lineman Jake Roast, and linebacker Jimmy Sharkey. So Celtics will be good. They open up against Joliet Catholic Friday. Lincoln Way East is number 7. Quarterback Mike Weller is back. Alex Kraft's back at running back, as well as Paul Gossage at wide receiver, Luke Epic at linebacker, and Dan Stewart at defensive line. Joliet Catholic, rich tradition. They're going to be extremely strong on the defensive side this year, led by linebackers Mike Grubin and Brad Krish. Quarterback Cade Earl and running back Nick Borgera lead the Hilltoppers. Number 5, St. Rita, Tyree Lee, Matt Mitchell, Brandon Gassner, some of the names you're going to hear from, as well as David Landstrom and quarterback C.J. Weideman. Mustangs should be tough. Number 4, Richards, loaded at the skill positions. Quarterback Hassan Muhammad Rogers, wide receiver Spencer Tiers, linebacker Ramonte Hill, and defensive lineman Josh Hediger. So watch out for the Bulldogs. Then you got number 3, Mount Carmel. They're Mount Carmel. That's all that needs to be said. They're loaded. Number 2, Bolingbrook. They've got about 6 or 7 Division I kids back. They've got quarterback Quincy Woods back, so the Raiders are going to be tough. But we're going with number 1, the big dog, HF, James Sheehan, the Hampton Harley twins. Desmond Bland on the offensive line and Jared Sharp at wide receiver going to lead the Vikings to the promised land. Should be a great, great season. All right, folks, we come back from this Labriola Bakery Cafe timeout. Little high, little tight. Stay tuned.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Grove Promenade.
What teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut and style for just $27 and guys get a cut and style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style. Only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, folks, a little high, little tight. I got it, I send out a questionnaire every season to the football coaches, okay? Try and get it out middle of July. Hope to get it back by August 1st. Some coaches are unbelievably efficient, get it back to me within a few hours. And then there are these other coaches. And I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm still chasing down one coach. And here we are, we're taping August 25th, and I'm still chasing down a coach. It's craziness, man. That's just not right. Not right. All right, other thing, folks, since we ended the baseball season, how about our baseball teams? Class 4A state champion Providence, Class 3A state champion Lamont, Class 1A state champion Illinois Lutheran. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you back here next week. We're coming from Schry Field in Blue Island next week. See you next week.